I decided to stop here. I didn't feel like driving anymore. It's so beautiful here. Check this out. There's some kind of a house in there. So you gotta appreciate these big doors in the sleeper. Oh, there's another house in there. But what happened is that I was driving and talking, right? And I said I wanna reach Dansville, New York. Yeah, like that would happen, you know, on the first day. And the road was pretty bumpy. There's, you know, there's construction, there's potholes, and you know, especially when there's a bridge, right? When there's a bridge, usually the right before the bridge and right after the bridge, there's like a, you know, usually it's you jump, you know, you jump up and down. And there was something there, some kind of a small hole, and then yeah, I jumped up and down, but I was driving, you know, pretty slow, and all of a sudden I heard some hissing sound, you know, and it was pretty windy, like very loud, you know, hissing. I could even hear it with the, I'm driving, right? So it's noisy in the truck, of course, and my window is closed, and I could hear some, you know, very strong current of air, you know, like this. Like, what the heck, what's going on? I open the window and I look in the back. It's coming, some kind of sound coming from the back of my truck, you know. And I opened the window, I lifted myself like that, I tilted the mirror, I looked at my rear tires, everything is good, and then the truck started pulling to the left, you know. It pulls to the left, and I have to drive like this, like what's going on? Is it the road? Maybe I'm but it started doing all of a sudden, right after that hissing sound, it started pulling to the left, and thankfully I was driving very slow because it was a big hill, and I have my flashing lights on, and I'm doing like maybe, you know, 50 clicks an hour, 30 miles an hour, and I had my radio on because, you know, right before, after I was leaving the shipper, a truck passed me, and I could hear something clinging, like, you know, the chain sound. And I look on this side, nothing is loose. I thought maybe I forgot a chain somewhere there, but I checked, everything is good. And so just to be on the safe side, I switched on the radio, because sometimes what happens, if something is wrong with your load, sometimes people will tell you, you know. And so my radio was on all of a sudden. So when the truck started pulling to the left on this hill, it's a pretty long hill, I hear somebody calling me on the radio. Hey, oversize, you have it on? That's how they usually say, you know, like, you have it on, do you have your radio on? I said, yeah, what's up? And he says, your front left tire is flat, you have a flat left tire. And I'm like, holy mackerel, that's why it's pulling to the left, right? And I couldn't see it. And it's a very bad spot to be sitting, but there's nothing I can do, so I just parked like this, probably 2 feet away from this. And it would be better up there, but it was pulling pretty bad to one side, so, you know, I don't want to damage the rim, right? And you know, like these people, I have cones in the back, but it's, you know, at least they're shifting a little bit. But when I didn't have cones on, all the big trucks were just flying by. At least they're moving a little bit, you know. But let me show you here. Yeah, you see? I'm pretty sure it's because of this. I have a nail. And the problem is, with having a flat in that position is that I called quite a few companies, like, you know, local repair shops. Nobody wants to change it. I mean, repair it. I said, hey, I think it's just a nail. Can you repair it? They said no. DOT regulations, what goes on the front has to be a new tire. so they don't want to repair it, right? And I said, wait a second. No, first she was saying, you cannot repair the steer tire. So wait a second, what about if we take the tire from my lift axle? It's the same tire, 425/65 R22.5. What if we take that tire and put it on the front, and then you repair that one, put it in here? So this way we avoid fixing the nail on the steer tire. And she says, no, we cannot do it. I'm just looking for some nails here so that I don't catch anything. Yeah, I see there's a bunch of nails here. So it's definitely not a good spot to sit, but you know, what do you do? Somebody even lost pliers in here, man. And so they're making me buy a new tire. And so I said, how do you expect me to have one new tire on the front and the other one is used, right? Because it's not a new truck. And she said, oh, we do it all the time. She said, we do it all the time. So I'm sure, but you know, I don't want to pay for two tires. Like one other place I called, she says, what did she say? I forgot, but crazy price, like over $1,000. Like these guys, they're super single. You know, actually I was wondering about this, like when it's time to replace them. And remember I did that video when I was looking at a tri-drive truck and I was saying, oh, my tires are getting worn out. I called it, you know, I called it. I said my tires were getting bad, but I think I was looking at that passenger side tire. And usually, I always tell people, it never happens. It's a super rare occurrence to have a nail on the truck, period. Most of the time, you get nails on the trailer. Hello, Sergei. Oh yeah, hi Tommy. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's the problem. I caught a nail and I was trying to get you guys to just switch tires, but you don't want to do it. So because I have a lift axle, it's a heavy haul truck, so I have, you know, 4 tires like that. But the one that's bad, it's a steer tire on the driver's side. Okay, no, that's fine. That's why the lady at the Connie, when I talked to Connie, she says, we'll get you a new tire. No, it didn't blow out. Basically, I hit a pothole. It probably had some sharp edges or something, I don't know. And then all of a sudden I started hearing, I was driving very slow up a hill. You know, I have a heavy load, like I'm pulling a drill rig on the RGN trailer. And so I was going maybe 30 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden I hit that pothole, and even through the closed window, I could hear some very loud hissing sound, you know, and I started looking at the back because, you know, normally you never get a flat on the front. I started looking in the mirror on my drive tires, on my lift axle, everything is good. And then I kept climbing the hill again at the same like 25-30 miles an hour, and my radio was on, and somebody called me and said, hey, you know, oversized, you have a flat tire on the left. And so I stopped right away, and I can see the nail right in there, but right now the tire is completely flat. But I don't think I damaged the rim, so because again it didn't blow up, it just started, it lost the seal, I guess. It started losing air, And sorry. Yeah, but I still see the nail, but I don't know. Yeah, I remember it was exactly, I hit something, right? I was trying to avoid the, you know, there's a bunch of potholes here on I-80, but you know, there's trucks around me, right? So you can go around the pothole only so far before you hit another truck. And I tried, yeah, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, I hit some pothole with that left tire. And no, the rim looks okay. I just looked at it. The rim looks fine, but yeah, the tire is completely down, so the rim sits pretty much on the ground right now. But it was not like that when I stopped. When I stopped, there was still a little bit of air in the tire. Yeah, so when I was moving, the rim did not touch the ground, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and you have the same, you're sure about the size, right? You have this 425, 65, 22.5. It's a super single tire that they put on a 20,000 pound axle on the front. Yes, sir. Okay, you know where I am? Yeah, I'm right 2 miles east of the exit for 380. I can see the sign in the distance, 380, so I just didn't make, I'm on that last hill before 380, on the, sitting on the shoulder. I got my cones out, but yeah, people are nuts, but I'll block the traffic for you. I lie down across the lane, see if there's somebody runs me over. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, once I got a ticket, I was in my Challenger, you know, 6.4 near Buffalo, and this was 65 mile zone. I was doing 80, and the guy gave me a small ticket, and then starts giving me compliments for, sir, I like your car. You know, and then if you like my car, why did he give me a ticket? Yeah, I think he just wanted to look at my car. That's the thing. But, so any idea when you're gonna be here? Okay, but you have to grab that tire, right? Connie was saying the warehouse is closing or something? Oh, I see, okay. You're the guy with the keys, perfect. Okay, okay, I'll be here. Thank you very much. Bye. Yeah, this was my mechanic. Hold on, are we still recording? Yeah. This was my mechanic, and he was concerned about the wheel. Because he says, I don't want to go out there. Of course, you know, he can get me the rim, but you know, Jesus. I said, and you heard my side of the conversation, right? So he said, did it blow out, or did you run on a flat tire? Because of course that's how you damage the rim. And I said, I'm pretty sure that, you know, when I jumped out, I'm pretty sure it was still, I didn't see the tire separate itself from the wheel like the way it is now. It was actually like low, but it was still connected to the rim, you know. And that's what I told him. I said, yeah, I don't, you know, otherwise, you know, if you run on the rim, you would hear, it would be a very strong vibration, right? Like in my case, it just started pulling, and I pretty much stopped, you know, right away. But I think I'm kind of like in the middle of this hill, and the pothole I hit was at the bottom. And I think he's right. I don't think it's the nail. I think the nail is nothing. I think he says you probably punctured the sidewall. You know, he says it's common around here. When you see, that's why these potholes are so dangerous. So you can hit a pothole if it has sharp edges. You know, a lot of pressure goes on your sidewall on that particular spot, and boom. You know, because yeah, if it was a nail, I wouldn't be able to hear such fierce, loud, you know, noise. Like I said, I'm still surprised, like how you can hear with the closed window in a driving truck, and I had flashing lights on, and of course I had my fan on, like it was very loud, and I still heard that. So basically it was immediate and intense loss of air, but then it disappeared. I guess I was just driving on, when the pressure went down, it stopped losing air so fast, and that's when I noticed it started pulling to the left. So it's, you know, it's very dangerous, because that's how you can if you know, the steer can pull you into, you know, like, okay, in my case I was lucky that it was the left steer tire, so it was trying to pull me this way, right, away from the ditch. But imagine if you're driving, let's say, like one of these guys, and you're doing, you know, 100 miles an hour. People are nuts, you know. And so you're doing 100 miles an hour, and then your right tire blows up, you know, and you end up in the, as seamen say, in the drink over there among the beautiful trees. Son of a gun. So what they were telling me is that the tire is $800. Service call is 105 or something, and then just for him to come out, right? And then there's labor is 2 hours minimum. No, I think 140 was the service call. I think labor was like 105, and of course it's all US dollars. And I just spent over $500 on my camera. That's why I know in this job, and I actually have it written down somewhere. In this job, you must always have money for emergencies. Either cash, doesn't matter, cash or your line of credit or Visa. So in my case, because recently I was making pretty good money, so I started finally paying off my lines of credit, you know. And now I checked, oh wait a second, I got $1,500 sitting there doing nothing. All right, so we moved them to the Visa, and then they asked me for the Visa number. I gave them my Visa number on the phone, because I guess they wanted to, you know what they do? Before they come out, they want to make sure that you're not a bum, that you have money. And so I guess they run like maybe $1 or something, or 10 cents on that card, but they do pre-authorization. So I think it's gonna be probably $1,300, maybe $1,500 US. Son of a gun. But yeah, you know, with this load, actually this thing feels pretty heavy. I probably had like 18,000 pounds on the front, maybe 17. So not sure what I'm gonna do now with the new tire on one side and used tire on the other side. Like, to me, like, they're saying that DOT does not allow fixing tires, but to me this does not feel right, you know. It's too bad I only have 2 cones, you know, because people are nuts in here. And you see, at least they're slowing down because they're climbing the hill. You see they have their flashing lights on. Okay, you see, these guys are good. Thank you guys, thank you. That's how you do it. When you see a guy with flashing lights. Oh, hold on, actually they didn't do it for me. They did it in order to pass that guy with the flashing lights. Son of a gun. And after I stopped, I wanted to, you know, I looked at this. I see I have some room. I thought maybe I can you know, go sideways a little bit, but I was afraid because there was no air. I checked the tire, there was no air. But anyway, that's what happens sometimes, right? that's the reality of heavy haul trucking. So you must always have a reserve cash, or a reserve, better yet, of course, nobody takes cash nowadays, especially because of COVID, but it's credit card. You must have a good credit card with lots of money on it. And by the way, how do you, something like this happens, how do you find a mechanic? How do you find a mechanic? There's a website called truckdown.com. It's free. I guess who's paying is all these mechanics are paying. The companies are paying for ads in there, for listings. And so truckdown.com, you open it up on your computer or smartphone, and then it's asking you what kinds of service you require, and I said mobile tire repair. And then location, you enter your location. I looked up my location here. I can see, like in the distance there, up the hill, the green sign, that's I-380 that goes to Wilkes Barre, or Wilkes Barre, whatever it is, right? Scranton, basically. So I'm like 2 miles away. Mile marker 295.9. I can see over there where the truck is now. On the right there's a mile marker 295.9. So you need to know this, because then when you call them, and of course it takes some time to get them on the phone, because I tried one guy, no answer. I tried another guy, she's like, oh, you know, we cannot repair it. Then I tried somebody else, they said minimum 3 hours, we're too busy. I called TA in New Jersey at the Delaware Gap. They said waiting time 3 hours, and I said, do you have the tire? No. So what's the point? And then this lady, at first the service advisor was talking on the phone, she said we might have one at the warehouse. And so this guy who called me, he said he has the keys from the warehouse, and they have one tire, and it's pretty much exactly like mine. It's a Goodyear 425/65-22.5. And so you need, before you call, you need to know your, you see what I wrote down here? You need to know your tire size, where you are. I wrote down I-80 West, mile marker 260, because that's 2959, so I'm pretty sure this is 260. 2 miles east of I-380. And also another thing that helps is that to have a second phone or a second cellular provider, because I got one phone which is Rogers, which over here uses let's see what it's using here. Oh yeah, it's using AT&T. Okay, so AT&T in area like this might not work very well, and so I have the second phone from Verizon, which is much more reliable. And I still prefer to use 2 phones, even though I know I can hook up this number to my iPhone. But this is a Samsung Android. I like this phone. I'm still getting used to my iPhone, even though I had it like for almost a year. I'm not sure I like it, you know. When the contract is up, I might just switch back to Android, like have a second Android phone. I was very happy with LG. When I had LG on the same Rogers, I liked that phone. It was shooting, I quite often used it for YouTube. This one, I use this one iPhone, and your face looks like you have high blood pressure. The face looks all purple. I don't know how to correct it. So anyway, yeah, so situation like this, right, that's what you need. So you go to truckdown.com, truck service, tire service, find your location, and of course for that you need your mobile phone with the location service enabled, right? And I got a tablet, so I can look it up on the tablet. And then you write down your, before you call, you write down your tire size, where you located, your mile marker, what highway, westbound, eastbound, northbound, stuff like that. And you must have your Visa card ready in case they decide to run, you know, just reserve some funds on it to make sure the guy doesn't come out. And the cheapest way, you always look in the same town where you're located. You know, like the first lady, by the way, I was still recording there. Yeah, the first lady who called me, she says, where are you located? I said, Tannersville, Pennsylvania. And she's like, Bannersville? I said, and I'm losing my patience. I said, Tannersville, where are you located? And she says, well, I'm not looking for tire service. Where are you located? And I'm looking at the screen on trackdown.com. The company I called, it says their address, Tannersville, PA. I said, I'm in the same town. And she says, I'm not sure. I said, where are you? And she said, whoa, we have like 15 service advisors. We have trucks all over the place. So I didn't realize it was like a national service. What was it called? It was called FIX. FYX. FIX. Roadside assistance. But it sounded like this guy is local. The guy who called me, the mechanic who's coming out, he must be local, because he said he has the keys from the warehouse, and the warehouse in the same Tannersville, and that's the cheapest way, because usually they also charge you for miles to come out and return. And so the closest you are to the shop, to the main shop, the better. So those are my suggestions. And I would show you how I place the chains, but basically I did 4 chains on the front, 4 chains on the back. I feel this thing is probably around 75,000 pounds. So I'm gonna scale when I get to a truck stop. I'm gonna scale to make sure it's not too heavy. Otherwise, I have to renegotiate my contract. Anyway, so now I just have ETA 1730. Oh, I just got a text message here. Hold on. Sorry, it's not a text message, it's an email. FYX Fleet ETA 1730, so basically 5:30. And of course she misspelled my first name, but I got the repair number, truck number. Oh, cool. Yeah, 5:30. Time now is 20 to 5, so basically I have to sit here for 40 more minutes, and then hopefully I didn't catch any more nails. Oh, and I said, what do you guys do with the tire? And she says, well, we scrap it. And of course they're gonna charge you a scrap fee. And I said, can I take it with me? Because I can repair it at home, and I can probably use it on the lift axle, right? Because on the lift axle, I'm pretty sure you can use a repaired tire. But you see, steer axle, it's very strict. Must be a new tire, and no repairs are allowed. Anyway, that's it. I'll do another video maybe tomorrow when I'm crossing the bridge, because it's gonna be interesting procedure, because it's a multiple shipment. I have to stop somewhere there at the broker on the Canadian side, go pick up the package with documents. It's gonna be a very lengthy procedure to cross that bridge. But I just saw I got my New York permit, and I checked the route. Again, they sent me to the Lewiston Queenston Bridge. I emailed the broker, I said, you made a mistake, I'm crossing at Peace Bridge, Fort Erie, please reroute, amend the permit. And she said, okay, sorry, my bad. And she just sent me the new permit, so I got all permits. All I gotta do now is set up border crossing, and I think I have to set up the truck TLP, truckload program. I'll double check the weight, because I'm what, 60 and let's say 70, 130. I think you still need to do it. You need to, you know, run the scenario with all your weights and stuff like that, and they give you the PO number, and you still have to pay over there at the border, because they have to they have to escort you over the bridge, I think, because of the weight. But I'm legal width, legal height, just heavy. That's it. So stuck on the side of the road near Tennessville, Pennsylvania. Captain Sergei out. See ya.